When we think of Godzilla, what do us humans picture? A large atomic lizard in a suit having to fight countless enemies to save Earth. He is a force to be reckoned with the latest installment taking an almost different take on this radioactive titan. The Monsterverse is a very interesting franchise that includes the fan-favorite Godzilla and Kong. The two have fought countless enemies in the past, with Godzilla being millions of more years older than Kong himself. Their enemies consist of King Ghidorah, the Skullcrawlers, the Mutos, Muto Prime, Mechagodzilla, Rodan, and much more, with the latest Monsterverse film giving us the latest and possibly the weakest but most interesting villain we have ever seen, the Scar King. A ruthless red ape who is destined to conquer the surface world of our planet, but was imprisoned in a subterranean realm of the Hollow Earth by Godzilla, and managed to escape until he ultimately failed by dying to the hand of Godzilla and Kong. Scar imprisoned several apes to try and breed to help him while he was trying to conquer. But the apes weren't the only creatures who were imprisoned, as another titan was also enslaved into his hands. Shimo, the ancient ice titan who was said to have frozen Ghidorah with her control of sub-zero temperatures. Let us dive into the backstory of our beloved ice princess Shimo. First introduced in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, Shimo is a force to be reckoned with. With an intimidating size of 137 meters tall and an unknown length, she is by far one of the Monsterverse's largest titans. She has a quadrupedal stance when both walking and running, a large, bulky head, and a thagomizer on the end of her tail. She is also able to stand up in a bipedal stance and make herself look more intimidating to opponents. Shimo is also able to manipulate ice and use it against her many enemies. It has been theorized that she was the one who froze Ghidorah in Antarctica thousands of years ago. The novel claims that she is a whopping 3 million years old, making her the youngest titan in the Monsterverse so far. As we saw in Godzilla x Kong, Scar King was using a mysterious crystal on the end of his whip, now called a whiplash, to control Shimo. Where and how exactly Scar King got this crystal is still a mystery. It is noted that this crystal resembles something off of Shimo, which could be one of her many dorsal spines protruding out of her head or back. One thing to note is that Shimo was never actually a villain, but rather a bodyguard used by Scar King. How Shimo was captured by Scar is still unknown, but we can guess one theory. After getting imprisoned in the subterranean realm of Hollow Earth, the Scar King and his army were not sure of what to expect from this new and mysterious place. Perhaps Godzilla knew that Shimo was down in the realm and made a choice. He decided to let her kill off Scar and the remainder of his army. However, Godzilla may have not known that Scar King had many other tricks up his sleeve. How Shimo can survive in the Hollow Earth's subterranean realm is impressive. Even though she thrives in cold climates, we can guess she used her sub-zero abilities to create a barrier of ice around her to make her feel like she was still living in the cold, and so that she could survive the hot climate of the realm. Anyways, we can also guess that Shimo may have once lived on the surface world, but once Godzilla knew of her existence, he had no other choice to banish her to Hollow Earth as well, since that she had a huge impact on the Earth's climate and ecosystem. We'll explain more why he probably did later, but back to Scar and his army. We can suppose that Scar King and his army captured Shimo. But how could such a powerful titan fall into the hands of this scrawny ape? Let me explain. After getting trapped in the subterranean realm, Scar and his army were forced to find a place to build their new settlement. However, disaster struck when they came across Shimo, who may have been defending her territory as Scar and his army were trespassing. Scar obviously wanted to escape the realm, but couldn't think of any way. After seeing how powerful Shimo was, Scar got an idea. He wanted to capture Shimo. It wasn't an easy task, as he lost several of his apes to her fury, but ended up successfully containing her. He may have broken off one of her crystals in the process and realized that after using it on her it caused her immense pain. Scar couldn't use Shimo to escape the realm, for now that is. Her frostbite blast is one of her most dangerous assets when it comes to facing her. Even getting too close to her may end up getting anything frozen solid, including us humans. Speaking of her frostbite blast, Shimo was also said to have caused or even played a role in the Earth's last ice age. As we said earlier, Godzilla may have banished Shimo to Hollow Earth, and this could be one of the reasons why, since that an ice age is a long period of reduction in the temperature of Earth's surface and atmosphere, resulting in the presence or expansion of continental and polar ice sheets and alpine glaciers. But this was an unnatural ice age, and Godzilla had to do something before the Earth was turned into a ball of ice. One other thing to note is that if another ice age happened today, but was instead caused by Shimo, we need to take some things very seriously. Humans and animals alike need food in order to survive. If another ice age happened, then a majority of the planet's agricultural goods would be unable to grow, resource goods would decrease to an alarmingly low rate, populations on Earth would decrease. And even such warm climates such as the tropical Amazon rainforest would be covered in ice and hardly any creatures would be able to survive, including other animals on Earth. Bonus question: what worked with Shimo in the Monsterverse? What worked with Shimo is definitely gonna have to be her role she played in the latest Ice Age, having to have frozen the planet to contain King Ghidorah, so that Godzilla and the other Titans would have a better chance of survival on Earth. However, her frostbite blast kinda makes her too overpowered in some ways, being able to freeze Godzilla and making Kong the only savior of Earth besides Mothra and the other protector Titans. If Godzilla died, then the Scar King probably would have used Shimo to cause another ice age and would have possibly become the new Alpha Titan. But thankfully, it never happened. Overall, Shimo was fantastic. She has a cool design. She did a great job in Godzilla x Kong, became Kong's secondary ally at the end of Godzilla x Kong, and even froze Scar King's butt off when getting her revenge. Definitely my favorite Titan in the Monsterverse besides Godzilla. And there you have it, folks, the backstory of Shimo. Sorry this video may have been too short. I just had to come up with everything I know about her on trying to get this video made. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see, and make sure to like and subscribe.